Welcome back to another episode of the Buffalo Happy Hour. Mike, what's up?
Derek, we traveled to the wonderful South Towns yet again. So we'll start with introductions, and then we'll dive right into the compound that we've taken over with our equipment.
Yeah, that's true.
So you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Thomas Turner, head of maintenance. Will Meyer, owner of Lakeview Lawns.
Good deal.
Corporate. Yeah.
So we drove down to the South Towns. We're in Lakeview. We're sitting down with Lakeview Lawns because you guys do a lot with not only the community and making their lawns look absolutely beautiful by laying down stripes, but you also do a lot with the wood that you guys procure from their properties and kind of give back in a lot of different ways. So we wanted to sit down with you guys and go over how this whole thing came about, where this whole thing started, when this whole thing started, because I don't think anybody knows, honestly. I think people just know you guys climb trees, cut them down, get poison ivy a couple times a year, and then throw some wood around. So let's start with the story about how this whole thing started, and then we'll kind of progress into where we are today.
With the wood?
With the business in general and the company. How did this whole thing start?
I started the business. I started a business. I actually went out to Montana with a good friend of mine that used to work here, is Matt Duggan. He ventured off and started his own company. Well, we were real good friends with his older brother, Mike Duggan. So I went out there and worked with him. So that started in Montana. Mm-hmm. So I drove out to Montana. I was 18 years old. Drove out to Montana and learned how to cut trees with Mike Duggan and cut out there, and came back home and learned. He ran a small chinking business. That means like caulking the inside of log cabins.
Okay.
So it's like the caulk inside in between. So we worked hard there. Is like 18, 19 years old, I think it was, and worked out there. So after we worked out there, we did that came back home, and then when we came back home, we did. I started a business, and it was actually called Notch It Tree Service. So and we did tree. We focused sort of on trees. Mm-hmm. So I knew I wasn't going to be like a full tree company, this and that. So that was Notch It Tree Service. After Notch It Tree Service, it became WM Services, and that lasted for about a year. And people start businesses, they change names and stuff like that, but all the principles are all the same: tree service, landscaping, and mowing. And that's the three divisions that we're still rolling with today. So after WM, in 2006, up there, established in 2006, that was Lakeview Lawns. So Iraq, 04, 05. Before Iraq, I always wanted to do business. I was sort of like a small entrepreneur type of guy. So I did entrepreneurship. So after entrepreneurship, I did small business. So after that, I wanted to be more. After Iraq, I wanted to be serious about it, get full throttle on it, get incorporated. Wanted to do the business more serious, legit. So in 2006, I changed the name. I wanted it to be more than just Will Meyer. It's I didn't want it to be WM. I wanted it to be Lakeview Lawns, a team. More of LVL, a team. It's more. This business is more than just me. Mm-hmm. I don't just run this business by myself. I run this business with key players in here that I'm sure we'll talk about, and that went into Lakeview Lawns. Now, before this, WM and Notch It, the first key players were my family. I couldn't do this without, obviously, my wife being on board and supporting me, whether I had 20 lawn accounts or 250 lawn accounts. It doesn't matter to her how big I am. And so she's always working with us and letting me do what I have to do. Along with her, same strength of support is my mom and my dad. Not only my mom, she's fully involved with the business. She's a secretary. She dots all the I's, crosses all the T's. She does all the stuff that I can't stand. As far as the logistics and paperwork and this and that and receipts. It's enough. It's when you're someone that you know that is right. It's just like, okay, I know you're right, but just handle it, will you? You know, she handles everything like that and supports the company with all the guys and this and that. And then obviously my dad is there supporting with everything too. So that's the whole family that supports the business. So that's one part of it. The other part of it is the main players of our friends. So like who helped me also start the business. It's always been there since day one. I mean, he just said his introduction. I'm not saying it's bullshit, but he's more than just a maintenance guy, okay? He's been there. This is Tom Turner, Lakeview Lawn's main guy, backbone of the company, okay? So he's the one that was always there, always supported me, when I had doubt, when I didn't know if, there's a lot of ups and downs and a lot of adversity and that you have to get through as an entrepreneur. It's not just like you guys will see. If you want to take your business, Buffalo Happy Hour, from here to there, you're going to have to go through obstacles. Mm-hmm. People are going to, put you down. They're not going to support you. It's in a sense like people hate success. So it's like you're going to have to get through all those adversities. You're going to have to get through the COVID-19 that would be an easy excuse for you guys to just shut down Buffalo Happy Hour.
Sure.
Why would you even have to? How could you interview anyone? You don't have a mask on. You can't do any interviews. You couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
How could you do that? How could we work? How could we do trees? How could we do landscaping? We lost all of our customers. It's COVID, so that was a huge test, and it was a huge test in the restaurant business. And I talked to a lot of other entrepreneurs in the restaurant business, and it was a huge test in the construction field as entrepreneurs are assessed, and in the construction business, and it would be an easy excuse. It was
absolutely.
It was a major adversity that you have to get through. It was a tough time for America. It was a tough time for everyone, but I thought the people came together, and I thought like that. We're actually more united, a lot more than you think.
No doubt.
Look what we did for. It's not like look what we did, but like, and I got that from Mark Boyers. He's the one that said that. Like, you're a lot more united than you think. Like,
yeah, if you get off the news and you just talk to your neighbor, you're so much more united than you would ever think.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Absolutely. You're talking to your neighbors, and me and my neighbor, he's one of my best friends, Brad Hafner. He's 93 years old. He's fantastic. He doesn't give a fuck about who you vote for, who you don't vote for, or this or that.
Right.
We're tight, and that's a perfect example. And we're always looking out for each other as far as Americans go. I would have to think. We support all other entrepreneurs in general. Also, like we don't have a problem with any other tree company or any other landscaping company. I don't care. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? We do what we do, and that's that. And if someone has a problem with us, that's just the way that is, at least.
Well, that brings up a good point. So a lot of people feel like when they're growing up, cutting lawns is a good way for a kid to make money. Like starting off not having a job yet, going through high school, it's a good way for them to make money. What advice would you guys have for somebody doing that to legitimize their business and go like you guys did, the route that you did of making this an actual business?
I would say, like Will taught me, work hard, always try to improve every single day. What can you do better that you didn't do yesterday? You'll be successful at it. There's a million people that cut lawns, but you can ask Mitch and Monty, how do we get better at it every single day? Bigger, better, faster. And that's how you'll be successful.
Yeah.
Is if you get complacent, then somebody's going to pass you by.
Sure.
Just keep going at it and love it. Just that's your job. Try to do the best as you can at it instead of going through the motions. That's what he taught me, and that's what I learned.
Yeah. It's not
And
rocket science.
it actually makes it fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, how do I get better? How can I do this faster? How can I do this more efficient? That's what makes my job happy. Is thinking about that kind of stuff.
We laugh all the time. I mean, we're talking and we laugh and joking, absolutely, without a doubt. I mean, we're talking. We want the C- students here. Okay, we have a kid, McGuire Skanicki, that works for us. He goes to RIT, and he's a lot smarter than I was in high school. Let's just put it that way. Okay, but if I could do it, anyone can do it. I don't coach. I'm not a coach. I'm an entrepreneur, and I own it, and I teach. My coaching is here, teaching young kids to come in and work. Teach them how to work.
Get the work ethic.
Get the work ethic. Turner's, everything Tommy just said, with Tommy coaching these kids, and helping them establish a work ethic, become better workers. We want these kids to work. You have to be out of high school to work here.
Okay.
So you can't be a junior or sophomore. You can't be a senior. You got to be a graduate. So this is for us, it's a perfect job for a kid that wants to work to go through college. Once you're in, you're in. It's either you're with us or sort of against us. In a sense, it is. It's true. So the crew that's in here, we're tight. So all the younger kids that are here, I'm saying kids, but younger, college, a couple years after college, so they're working here. We want to teach them everything they know that they could do to make themselves better, meaning install, like Tommy just said, bigger, faster, stronger, a work ethic, how to work, how to estimate, how to do, manage people, how to become a leader and carry on. And then after that, pass them on to whatever they want to do, in a sense. Meaning start your own business. Sure, fine, great.
What's the training like for cutting down a tree? Is it just like you're just going to try it, and if you screw up, I'm sorry, good luck?
Yeah,
Training, I don't know. The training of cutting down a tree.
Because that's a very intimidating thing to do.
It is, yeah. We do a lot of different crazy stuff it's not that you'd want to like. If OSHA was here and if you interviewed them, they probably would kick us out and say, "All right, you guys don't know."
Yeah, shut it down.
Shut it down. This operation shut down. If
you're dropping trees on houses.
Yeah, a couple months before that, I think I put a tree through the back of my truck.
Or you could ask Al. Bill taught him how to climb.
Yeah.
He's the best climber we got.
Yeah, we could bring Alex Giovanetto. He's the best tree climber in the Northeast. Of the training that we do of how to cut trees down, he would definitely have something to say on this topic.
So let's start with the big. So you got 3 divisions, and regarding the tree service side of it, what are you actually looking for? Are you just trimming trees? Are you completely removing trees? Like, are there trouble spots on the trees where somebody will call you and say, "Hey, I got some type of fungus and I just don't want it to spread"? Are you eliminating trees on certain lots of acreage?
Yeah, well, as far as we get a lot of calls. We get calls for pruning. We don't specialize in pruning. Alex specializes in the pruning of our tree division. The ash borer.
Yeah.
The ash borer enhanced our tree division from here to there. We've been cutting down. It seems like people just know about the ash borer the last year. We've been cutting down ash trees for the last I would say 5, 6, 7. How long? As soon as you came, a long time we've been cutting down ash trees.
6 or 7.
Yeah, 6 or 7. We've been cutting down trees for 20 years, big ass clump maples. But we actually there's a saw, it's an 880, it had 36-inch bar. I'm I'm never buying one again because I don't want to cut trees down that big. Yeah, seriously. So that was about 5 years ago. And then we had Alex Giovanetto, AG4, we call him. And then we've got the training. We went to Asheville, North Carolina. We brought a team out there and we trained and we got certified with ISA as tree climbers. And Alex learned how to climb and he took it from here to there. And he expanded our tree division in a positive, lucrative way. So we did that we trained, got training out there, on-site training. It's sort of like, as far as like, how do you do Buffalo podcasts?
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
Right. Yeah. You just kind of have to do it.
I'll teach a couple. I got to work on my patience. I know that, but it's like, all right, this is how you do it. You got to do it. So a lot of it's self-taught. We're safety.
I think that's
safety's number one. Like, I would never not think that we don't talk about safety. We have a morning briefing every time before we go out and cut trees down. We have a morning briefing on safety. Like, we all wear hard hat. Go drive around and tell me what tree company's doing it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me who's doing it the right way.
Right.
And then you tell me the way they do it, and then you tell me what's the right way. That's the thing about business and entrepreneurship. There's no rule book. Where's the rule book?
Right.
You do the best way you can. And you do it whatever you feel the safest, the right way, and
Which is wild, because I feel like a lot of people don't even understand. But from a teaching standpoint, it's realistically, you would teach safety, and then the experience of doing it, like the cuts you would make, you can kind of give pointers, but it's more or less like, hey, just do it, and then you can start on a smaller tree, so the collateral damage isn't going to be a big deal. But from a customer standpoint, if you show up with pants, boots, a harness, and a hard hat, they're like, oh, they're a professional. And then you throw in a beard on that, and they're like, this guy's been doing it his whole life. Like, no one knows. You know what I mean? It's kind of interesting from a customer standpoint, or from us as like the outsiders. Like, what does this even mean? You know what I mean? Because there's people that, why would someone want to cut down a tree? Is it power lines? Is it they're terrified that something's going to hit it and then it falls on their house?
No, exactly what you said. To your original questions, too close to the trees overcoming the house.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to go. You got 3 dead ash trees in your backyard. How much is it going to be? We came up with this like easy estimating way to estimate trees. I think last year or the year before that, maybe it was like small. It's like pumpkin packing, small, medium, large. So a small tree's $500, medium-sized tree's $1,000, and a large tree's $1,500.
And then does the customer keep the wood?
It depends. Do you want the wood? Do you want everything removed? And does that include the stumps? So where is the tree? How tight to the house? Is there power lines? So all those are variables in the price.
That's fascinating.
Nobody wants a tree cut down in the middle of nowhere in a giant opening.
Right.
Every time we do a tree, it's next to a house, power line. Otherwise, they just let it go.
Yeah, we kissed the wires a couple weeks ago. National Grid.
They call us, do you want a tree down?
Yes.
It's leaning somewhere, or garage, shed, power lines. Like, nobody wants a tree cut down in the middle of the backyard.
Right,
So
yeah.
all you got to do is cut it and drop it. That don't happen. They want the tree that's leaning over their house, leaning over their neighbor's house. Then you got to deal with the neighbors, this and that.
Yeah, so do you have to advise the neighbors? Like, hey, we're cutting down a 40-footer. Like, if you hear a thump, don't call somebody. You know what I mean? Like, what's that conversation like, or has that not really come up?
No. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Absolutely. Of course it comes up. Usually we see.
I wouldn't call it a conversation.
Yeah, 9 out of the customers. We don't have a problem with the customers that hire us. You got to realize like I told you, there's a lot more people that involved with this of Lakeview Lawns than just myself. It's not just Will Meyer Lakeview Lawns, okay? My cousin Greg Van Remen, he's the next person in command. He would be here interviewing. Tommy Turner, Alex Giovanetto still cutting trees down with us. Jeff Taylor, and then we have a bunch of guys together. I'm not trying to leave anyone out.
No, yeah, but the team, basically.
It's the team of
Yeah.
Lonnie and Danny Bacon, Sean Cohen, and all these guys that are, I know I'm leaving guys out, but it's not the point. It's that there's the team of, it should be only like, a couple guys, but it's more than that. So you get more players on that. So you got 6 guys estimating jobs. they're not my jobs. You know, it's their jobs that they get and they run, and that's their job. You know, that's what they do. Okay, so they get a job. That's theirs that they got to handle. So we're cutting trees all around the community. You know, not everyone likes Lakeview lawns. You know, you got to realize that. You know, and it is what it is. You know, there's nothing we can do about that. We do the best we can, and that's that. But we cut a tree down for the customer. Customer's happy. We try our best to talk to the neighbor. We say we do 10 tree jobs in one day. 9 out of 10 customers are gonna be fine.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Might be someone that is a little upset. Maybe you dropped the tree through their pool on accident. You know, mistakes happen. It's a hazardous, you know. So that has happened, and that will happen. But the problem is the neighbors come in. You got to let the neighbors know. We walk. I think to your question that you're right up the topic that you're answering about is that you have the tree in the middle of the property line. Whose tree is it? The neighbors, they come over. They're flipping out because you're cutting it, this and that. Yeah, we run into that usually like once a week. You know.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So do you guys have like I guess, lack of better terms, like a territory or a jurisdiction that you kind of focus on, or is it just the South Towns? Because some people hear Lakeview lawns and like, oh, they're too far away.
Yeah.
But then I talk to you and you're like,
lawns in Rochester, so you got Lakeview lawns in Rochester, so you got to, you know.
Any relation or no?
No.
See, now we got a problem. Now we got to square up.
Yeah. Gotta have them change that name.
Yeah, seriously.
I think they
call
do
them
more.
out. So in Buffalo, you guys.
I think we're changing it to LVL Tree Care anyway, so it shouldn't be a problem.
The next generation of names. So what do you guys focus area wise? Like, where would you say your borders are?
The South Towns.
Okay.
South Towns. We go Lakeview, Hamburg, Blaisdell, Orchard Park, West Seneca, loop back around. Same as our mowing route. Orchard Park, East Aurora, loop back around, do a little derby, and come back into Lakeview. As far as tree.
We also did go to New Jersey last year, though.
Yeah. I have one of our other buddies, a Marine Corps buddy, JJ O'Connor, a great friend, and he's part of the actually team too. Whenever he comes up, he works. He's the main supporter with the Buyers Maple Farm, and we go out there with JJ. He's actually leads that project, I guess you could call it. Yeah, we do go out to. He had a tree job in New Jersey. We did go to New Jersey. We work today in Cheektowaga, but mostly around.
So you get around.
Yeah, we get around a little bit. You know, you got some. If you have a job that's worth a certain amount, we'll get the team together and we'll head out there.
Good deal.
Removing stumps. There seems to be a lot of stumps in the area. How would somebody get in contact with you? What does tree stump removal cost, or does that vary based off of the size of the stump?
It depends on the job. If you got $1,000 tree and you want the stump ground out, it would be $1,200. Say $250. So it would be $1,250.
You guys have your own stump grinder?
Yes, we have a partner that's in partnership with us.
Those things are wicked to rent.
Yeah. Well, yeah, to rent. It's sort of.
Yeah, you got to show up with a truck that can actually move the thing. Then you got to put on a trailer. Then you got to have a truck that can move the trailer. Then you got to bring it home. Then it's like by the hour, you understand how much this thing's worth.
Yeah.
Then you don't want to screw it up because you got to return it. Like, and as soon as you drop it off, you got a line of dudes waiting to pick it back up. No. You know. So having that option is huge because a lot of people don't even have that capability. Like, you can't move a stump grinder with a Chevy Cruze.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's nice that you guys have that. So that's part of the estimation. To Derek's question is you just look at it.
If you want the tree cut down, do you want everything out of there? Do you want the wood, or are we getting rid of everything? So you say you got one ash tree. Mm-hmm. It's a large, $1,500.
It's like ordering coffee, dude.
Well, there you go.
It's a large.
Yeah, it's a large.
Yeah.
Venti.
One large ash tree, $1,500. Do you want the stump ground out? Yes, $1,750.
What about just like a stump that the tree fell down a while ago? Do you handle like debris and stuff like that? Like if a tree comes down during a storm?
Oh, yeah, we do storm. Yeah.
We interviewed a guy not too long ago who wrote a book about the October storm of 2006.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. What
was his name?
Don Purdy. He worked for the Bills for a while.
Did he? What did he do? What was the book about?
It was about the October storm. So his whole experiences with working for the Bills trying to organize all the travel for the Bills players to go out of town, but then also his own complications with the October storm.
Yeah.
When you did research, how many trees actually fell down that
He
year?
quantified it. In the October storm, Buffalo lost 55,000 trees in that weekend.
What did they? Yeah.
So in that
Which is
situation,
insane.
yeah, would
in
you be going to
2006?
would you be going to people's houses and like removing trees?
Well,
We worked for
Yeah.
3.5 weeks straight
Yeah.
during that October storm.
yeah.
That's what you got 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That wasn't fun, actually.
And that's all we have to say about that. So thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
I didn't have power for a week, and he just shows up. He's like, I got 2 new chainsaws, so let's go to work.
Chainsaws.
All right.
That was fun.
What equipment do you use? Are you guys brand loyal?
Well, hang on a second. I want to talk.
Okay.
I got something.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Go
No,
for it.
if we're going to talk
Yeah.
about the October storm,
Let's do it. Let's hammer it.
We're, in a sense, we're storm chasers too. You know, it's like, well, we thrive off the challenges, the adversity, and this and that. You know.
And the problems people have. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, so October storm, that could cripple a company, or it could enhance it. You know, we're up for 3-4 days straight. We're in the business of cutting trees down. Okay, so we're in the business of plowing. So, you know, during that, when was this storm? When was the
6.
snowstorm?
October 06.
When was
right
the,
when we
when
bought
was
our
the
house.
6 feet? When was that? When
That was
the
November.
storm?
That was November.
Yeah, that was the November
Yeah.
storm. That was after.
That's not when you.
That was like 2014.
14.
Yeah, 2014, the 6 feet.
06 was the ice storm.
The 06 was the ice storm. That was a perfect example. Like, we were smaller then.
Right.
You know? So having 10, 20 guys on a tree job would be like crazy.
Right.
So then all of a sudden, during the October storm, I just called all my friends. Be like, yo, you guys want to work? I got like, there's trees all over the place. Let's drive around. So we went and bought 3 chainsaws, drove around with our trucks, and cleaned up yards.
Oh, nice.
Charge whatever you wanted to charge.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a state of emergency.
People were desperate
So when it's
too.
a state of emergency, that's what it is. You know, people pay what they want to pay, make insurance claims, not insurance claims. It is what it is. We're going out there. We just handled it. So that was October storm was fantastic for Lakeview Lawns.
Oh yeah.
You know,
That's amazing.
and
Just
so
out there
was-
grinding.
Yeah, I mean, so was the snowstorm. You know, we get 6-10 feet of snow. I mean, I remember sitting in my house being like, dude, I don't know, is this gonna ever stop snowing? It was like up in our roof, or so that was a little scary, but you know, that challenge of having your back against the wall, of being pinned in there, and overcoming it and providing a service that people need. Making a profit, of course, we're trying out here making a profit. We haven't slept in the last 4 days. I got a family at home and I'm in a hazardous situation.
Right.
Yeah, of course. What business isn't going to be trying to make a profit?
Yeah.
But-
Outside of us. Yeah, right. I'm with you. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. You're going to have to explain that to me after that podcast. But, you know, so that's with the storms, you know, it's safe, be as safe as you can, but being in the elements and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
you know. That kind of,
So are you guys brand loyal when it comes to your equipment? Or do you just take whatever you get?
yeah, no. I mean, what are you talking about? Look behind you.
So
look
that's-
at me.
setting
Look
up
at the wall.
We're
Setting
setting
up the
up,
question,
man.
my
We're
friend.
setting up so that you can dive
Setting
into it.
up. All right. Yeah, we're pretty loyal on our equipment of our brands.
You even got their chairs.
Yeah, they gave them to us. Yes, they support us.
So you can give them a shout out. That's fine.
Well, yeah, Team Steel, of course.
HR Dills.
HR Dills with Kevin.
It's-
Kevin Dills. Yeah.
They have good equipment, but me as like the guy ordering everything is the company that you order the stuff from, how they treat you, how good they are, and like how loyal they are.
Yeah.
Like, we wouldn't have steel chainsaws if we didn't have a good dealer where, hey, I need a bar. Boom, I'll have you one tomorrow. It's a give and take business, you know?
For Kevin, for HR Dills, you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, he goes out of his way to help us out, hook us up, and that's why we stick with him. It's not actually the brand, it's the person that like the vendor that helps us, you know. And that's a lot of times that's why we stick with the people. It's not actually the brand, it's the
Like Militello's Mike,
yes, exactly. You know,
small business
we-
guy that you want to support.
We want tires, the guy will have us tires in 2 days. And we call Western Ford, oh, you're a week out. I mean, that's what keeps this company up and running is
Right.
people like Kevin at HR Dills and Militello Mike, and that's what we're loyal to. Because they're loyal to us.
Yeah.
So it's,
So how did that conversation start when you guys? So we're clearly in what we're in, right? Which is a massive pole barn. But where did this whole thing start? And then how did it grow into this, including the equipment? Because I assume you didn't just like call up Team Steel and you're like, hey, send us your best blower, you know?
Well, we used, I don't know, it's just sort of been like we're a team Steel.
So when you started this whole thing, you're like, there's only one manufacturer we should use just because we already...
We always used Steel chainsaws.
Yeah.
Sort of never used anything else. We use Steel chainsaws, we run John Deere mowers. Before John Deere, we used to use Right Standard.
And then you
Them were
found
the
out...
yellow ones.
Yeah. And then you found out nothing runs like a deer.
Oh, they merged as a company.
That too. Capitalism.
Yes.
Nailed it.
They merged as a company and then they split. And then the John Deere was, and then you had a Right Standard, which was yellow. Then you had a John Deere that was green. They merged, and then all of a sudden a John Deere Right Standard was, whoa, that's a Right Standard, but it's green and it has John Deere on it.
same framework.
Same framework. Nothing runs like Deere. So then we went to John Deere. So the John Deere are the mowers we run.
Yeah.
The trailers are we sort of run the same trailers that we run, and this chainsaws are we run Ford trucks. I'm not like a diehard Ford guy.
Yeah.
I mean, if a Chevy's a nice, I like Chevys. My dad is a Chevy.
I'm with you. We're a
They're nice
Chevy
trucks,
family.
too,
I'm with you.
you know.
So you grew from the shed, which we have pictured, so we can drop a picture of that too. But the shed is where everything started. Everything was super organized. Space was tight because it's a shed. And then you ballooned into where you are now, which kind of involved this massive project of clearing land, leveling land, building a pole barn. And what was that? How long did it take you to go from point A to point B? Was this like a pre-Iraq, post-Iraq?
Oh, it was post, obviously.
It was all post? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, what do you think? I mean, it's just sort of like one step at a time.
He was just cutting trees down in the snow. I thought he was going to build like a garage. And then he built this thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a regular shop. It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's nice for us, you know. It's nice that we're young enough.
It's nice for anybody,
It's
man.
nice for anyone. It's nice that we're young enough to enjoy it and not young enough to work out of it.
Right.
It costs money for anything. It's just one step at a time. You know, good things take a while.
So what's your vision? Are you trying to just use this as like one? Is this always going to be kind of like your home base, or are you going to
The
kind of
vision
like
is-
push
You're
out?
seeing the vision right now. You know, am I satisfied? No. Am I where I want to be? No. Am I trying to always improve? Of course. That's the fun of it.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm not satisfied. Am I ever going to be? I don't know. Who knows? But I'm trying to get better, trying to improve any which way, do stuff better. We came from the shed and we built this, and then different things happened. You know, Tommy's always been here, like I told you. He worked at CSX. He was an ironworker. He's a professional. History behind him, so it's not like this is all he did. So he brings everything he did in the past to the table, and then we continued to do what we did now. And we're still doing it. And then with the whole COVID situation, I'm a teacher, so it was funny, like when I was teaching, all these teachers came up, they're like, dude, we're coming and work for you. I'm like, yeah, sure. I've been asking you guys to come and freaking cut down trees with us for the last 3 years. You freaking pussies won't freaking come out and cut a fucking tree down with us. All right, let's go. How many times I got to invite you guys? I would come cut trees down with us. Then they're like, yeah, we're coming. I'm like, okay, sure. So now there was nothing to do. It got all shut down. We brought them in, and then a lot of them now I brought in guys with master's degrees that are and bachelor's degrees that are professional educators.
They can't put a ladder up.
Come on, easy. So they come in, like my cousin Greg, he runs a business with us. He's a guidance counselor. He's a professional, but he also does this on the side. These teachers come in, but they don't need to put a ladder up. They're selling trees jobs, and they come in and they work, and they do a good job when they're here, and it's a little bit of some side money for them. And
Sure.
I love it, and it's great. One, they're getting paid good money. Two is we're tight. Where it's good. It is camaraderie and the team steel, the team of Lakeview Lawns. That means something. It gives people a purpose. So it's a good thing.
So you're a teacher also. You had a position before. Is most of your staff here part-time? Are they full-time? What's the
half and
breakdown?
half. Say we got 20 guys, 10 of them are part-time, 10 of them are full-time.
And that's split up amongst the three main categories, the mowing,
Yes.
tree cutting.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have a mowing foreman. We have 3 mowing foremen. And then we have one landscape foreman, Jeff Taylor. He runs the landscaping division, and then we also do the trees.
So the landscape division, is that just like I'll call you up and say, hey, I want to put an island in my house. Can you come quote me for that?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
We never hit the niche of hardscaping.
Okay.
We don't really do it. It's about finding your niche.
Yeah.
You find your niche and find out what you can do, and that's where we're at nowadays. We know exactly what we do. We tried going through the hardscaping division a little bit. We never really found that niche, never really got it. We're sort of past that. I don't think it's which is not a bad thing.
What's
Not at
the
all.
difference between hardscaping and landscaping?
Like pavers, patios,
Okay,
and this
gotcha.
and that hardscaping.
Sure.
We're not going to come in and do that. We're a maintenance company in a sense for our landscaping. We'll do some installs a little bit, every now and then a little bit. Our tree division exploded with Alex Giovanetto expanding that. The ash borer. A lot of tree calls come in. The sales team from the teachers that were laid off during COVID. They came in, they sold tree jobs, small, medium, and large that we talked about. So that expanded with that.
Sure.
Mowing, you want a mowing contract? How big is your yard?
Third of an acre.
Third of an acre, so it'd be like $35 a cut. So 30 mowing contract goes from May 1st to October 31st. That's 26 weeks. 26 weeks times $30 a cut is $780 minus 10%, $702. Be $700 cut your lawn for the season.
Nice. Do you do rolling and like treatment too, or no? Okay.
No, they just lay
We sub it out.
stripes.
We sub it out. I like when people call. I always like to give them a name, a number, or someone. Jim Mason does our rolling,
Yeah.
aerating, fertilizing. It's like True Green, big outfits like that. It seemed like we never found a niche in that.
Sure.
I'm not saying that we couldn't make a profit on that, but it seemed like
It just didn't make sense.
True Green. You got to go in that full
Yeah.
throttle. True
Right.
Green. You got to True Green has that tied up pretty good. But I know that seasonal fertilizers. I know other companies fertilize, so they must do pretty good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a ton of franchises too. I mean, like, it's not to shout them out or whatever, but like Weed Man and like all those
Yeah,
other
yeah.
massive chains that are across the
Right.
country.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Right.
it's wild. That's really cool though, because you can basically sit there and self-assess, weed out aspects where you're like, hey guys, what did you think of that job? And if everybody, my impression is, if everybody came back and they're like, I never want to do that again, you're just like, we don't have to. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
which is, I think, really cool from a retention standpoint, because then your employees would just be like, that's amazing. Like, finally, I have an employer that actually takes positive feedback and or negative feedback, and then we adjust and shift and then pivot and make different changes, which we see, but it's just us. So if you have a team of 20, it's really cool that you guys are sitting there in that chair having that discussion with them, and then you can kind of make adjustments if needed, and then grow where it makes sense to grow, and then cut fat where you don't want it, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, well, definitely. It's well put.
Cut the fat.
It is.
So you always say.
Oh, it is.
Yep.
You know, see where you want to go. What do we want? What's making money? What isn't making money? I mean, are we even doing installs anymore? Should we even do landscaping? How much money does it cost to cut that $700 lawn? Is that even worth it?
Sure.
You know, and it's hard because we talk about it, laugh about it all the time. Is that same $30 lawn contract in 1980 was the same $30 lawn contract.
Sure.
That same $350 plow contract in 1980 was the same $350 plow contract. That's a problem in my eyes.
And for that $700, you know, you probably got a husband and wife. You got to keep them happy 26 times. You know, out of the season.
Right.
And someone's always going to complain. You cut a tree down. Be done with it
Yeah.
for the same amount, you know. So it's hit and miss, you know.
Yeah.
Where we go.
Cut the
you know.
fat.
Are there any trees that you won't cut down? Like it's just too tall
Yes.
or too big? Yeah.
Of course there is.
Yeah, we got to.
There
He's
is.
laughing over there. He knows.
Yes, of course. Of course there is. We got nothing to prove. There's been me and Alex we walked into a big hog. I got nothing to prove. I'm too already old. I can't even. So yeah, of course. There's no problem walking away. Even if I bid it, you know.
That's a smart thing.
That's a smart thing. Back in the day, I would never walk away and say, I gave this guy the price. I'm going to do no matter whatever it takes. I'm going to get this job done. Yes, I still think like that, but in a sense. But if I underbid it, if someone bid it wrong, if I bid it wrong, which I have done, and it's out of our league, I'm sorry. Here's your money back. I know you're probably not too happy with Lakeview Lawns right now, but we can't do this job. I don't know what we were thinking.
Is it more like how wide and big the tree is, or is it tall that you just won't
in
do?
Sense. I mean, we're not the biggest powerhouse tree company. There's other companies that you could probably interview that are bigger, stronger, have 10 bucket trucks, 10 chippers, could handle any tree jobs, cranes and this and that. We don't roll like that. We do the jobs that we could handle that are Lakeview Lawns tree jobs.
Sure.
There's a lot of them out there. We've been doing it for years. So yeah, there's monster trees in the middle of a porch, fences, roofs. You need a crane. We thrive on manpower, machine. You know.
Yeah. What can the ants take care
You cut
of?
a big ash tree down. Say, like Tommy said, it's in the middle of nowhere. All right, you cut a big ash tree down. You got to get it taken out of there, one which way. Cut it down, climb it, rig it, crane it. Doesn't matter. Still needs to be cleaned up. You know. So we line up jobs that we could handle with and feed. We like to pay everyone good. Have a good solid team of good guys that are loyal, that work hard. You know, I would never ask any of the guys to do something I wouldn't do. They always are coming in, bringing everything they have, doing the best they can. And what else can you ask for that?
Right.
So the manpower makes the cleanup go fast.
Sure.
That's awesome.
I was scrolling through Realtor the other day because I'm never out of the housing market, and I saw a tree in the middle of someone's like house. Like, what are you doing? That has to be a nightmare to even like.
That's pretty cool.
If they come over and they're like,
still
"I
live
want this," I don't know. I have no idea. I don't think so.
Or was it? Oh, it was a bank.
Well, it's up for
yeah,
sale.
yeah. And it was just like, what would you even do at that point? You would have to. You wouldn't even be able to do anything.
Oh, that would be a nice one. You probably have to take off the back part of the house. Just send it.
Yeah, just send it.
Nice little burn.
It's wild.
Yeah, that's one way to do it. We'll just set the tree on fire, not the house, just the tree. I'm sure it'll work out.
We specialize in that.
So you guys do plowing too? You were saying?
A little bit, yeah.
It's just by contract, like somebody can reach out to you and say,
Well, yeah, for most. You know.
Do you cap it? Like, what do you mean by, for the most part?
Yeah, I have a cap.
Okay,
I have a cap on the mowing, and I have a cap on the plowing.
Okay.
So that's nice. I went through a lot of years not knowing. I just come on, bring it in. We can do everything. And then I realized, you could only spread yourself so thin with plowing. To make money, you got to spread yourself thin.
Yeah, because you can't be in 4 places at once.
Right, but you can't. It's so cheap. Like I just told you, the 1980, the same $350 plow contract is in 1980. That's a problem. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so the whole industry needs to get together, and everything needs to be $500. Simple as that. I know the customers don't want to hear it, but it is. Everything's $500.
well, the cost it takes to do the plowing contract increased, so it only makes sense that you would charge people more.
Well, yes, but then they
Insurance, the
and
truck
then they
damage.
call and, this, and then they get it for $450, for $400, $350. But if the rate's at $350, then we're going down to $300 to $250 and this and that, and they're sweeping everything up. There's a lot of competition,
Yeah, because you got some guys with absolutely no overhead.
Yeah.
And that might be one of
You get a
4
lot of
accounts that
guys
they have total.
Which is fine. I support, like I told you, I support all entrepreneurs. I support all people that want to go out and work.
Right.
I'm not bashing them. I'm just saying, let's just bring the number up to $500, and then we can go from there.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
I mean, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. People can afford it.
Well, yeah.
Or just grab a shovel and do it yourself. We all did growing up.
Yeah, really.
Just grow up and be an adult.
Most of the people that have, whatever.
Yeah, I know. I got you. They're from the North Towns and they moved into the South Towns. That's what we're talking about.
Right.
So, where can people get in touch with you? Do you have a website? What are your social media accounts?
We have a sales team of 6. We have a small little website that needs to probably be tightened up. I imagine that. Google.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just Google Lakeview Lawns and everything pops up. So lakeviewlawns.com is the website.
Lakeview Lawns Inc., yeah.
Lakeview Lawns Inc. Okay. And then on Instagram, it's Lakeview Lawns, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same as Facebook?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I don't really run those guys, but my cousin Greg does it, and he handles that.
Gotcha. Okay. So your cousin runs the social media.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Cool.
I did not know that.
Awesome. Well, anything else you guys want to add that we didn't talk about?
Just like I said, Will built this place from nothing, but he gets nowhere without these employees.
Mm-hmm.
Like Will said, the loyalty. It's here. There's like no seniority. There's no nothing. You got to go in and eat dog shit. The other guy's gonna go in there with you.
Mm-hmm.
Will do it. He'll do it. He'll do it. Just we're kind of like a team. See one guy struggling, everyone jumps in. That's like the camaraderie. I think, I'm not a business guy, but I think that's what makes that successful.
Yeah.
Is we all go to bat for each other, no matter what. Mm-hmm. And it's fun.
Yeah.
Like if you worked here, this is actually a shitty job to work at. But the guys we work with, it makes it fun.
Sure. So to that point, how can somebody come work for you if they were interested?
You gotta know somebody, Derek. you gotta pass the initial test. Can you do a pull up?
Yep.
Did you play a sport ever in your life? And can you keep up?
Yep.
I think those are the 3 main things that you guys look for.
And if you got over a C average, keep it moving.
The full timers behind us are just dying laughing. They're like, "Oh my god, it's not what we're looking for, but it's exactly what we're looking for."
Right. We're looking for the C minus.
Yeah.
Guy that they maybe got kicked out of English class or failed English class once or twice.
Had a tough go at kindergarten.
Sometimes it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Would they just reach out to you on your social media if they were interested?
It's I look at it as recruiting. I look at it as I'm Nick Saban recruiting the staff, the greatest players I could find. Mm-hmm. So you got to fit. You got to have a niche to work here. You got to fit in. It's recruit within.
Sure.
A lot of the guys, friends, families. Alex Giovanetti worked here. Now 3 of his cousins work here. Always cousins with everyone in Derby, so that's not saying anything. But
You might even be related to him.
yeah, you're probably related.
Probably.
A friend that it's a buddy system. Come in, get a buddy that works here. Then, just like Tommy said, the camaraderie, the team. It's for real. So, and the tree team's nice. Our tree teams, you got guys like. I think our youngest employee could probably be McGuire. Spencer? How old is Spencer? Spencer.
Yeah.
He just graduated high
He's
school.
an animal. He's
19.
an animal.
McGuire Skanicki, 19. He goes to RIT. Spencer is working here. Our oldest employee is 50. Coach Myers, he's 47, I think. We're in our 40s. There's other guys in their 30s.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice. It's nice to have a nice mix.
Oh, yeah.
Just because you're 50, you come in, you work hard all day. It's great. You fit right in. If you're 20, you still got to work just as hard as that 50-year-old. You
Right.
fit right in. So it's a nice team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You know anyone else that has
Like
it?
this guy here, he was a cashier before he started here. He's our hardest working employee we got.
Monty, why don't you come over here? We got to have
He's an
Monty.
animal.
Say-
Come on in, Monty. Come on.
Here it comes.
Yep.
He's just a bundle of love. Hole in a shirt, just ripping it.
Yep.
He's
The hardest
crushing.
working guy you ever meet in your life. You gotta put these on.
And put those on. Tell him. I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. Tell him what you think. Here's the next turn.
I wish you still had your juice on.
I know, you cut your hair and everything, man.
Yeah, no, I definitely had some wicked hair before.
So state your full name so that our listeners
name,
understand
son.
what's going on. State your name, son.
Matthew Monaco.
Why are you acting like you're in an interrogation?
Speak up.
I know, say it with your chest, man. You good?
Matthew Monaco.
There you go.
Pit team, tree service, lawn mowing, aka the chode.
How long have you been working here?
3 years.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts? I mean, you're fairly new, and you came into this alpha male dojo.
I mean, I feel like it's not like that. We all just love working hard. I was born in Lakeview, and I lived there my whole entire life. And the fact that I get to work with a company called Lakeview Lawns is freaking awesome. I love it. Everyone
Right.
here just freaking loves dominating, working hard, and we get after it. We freaking love it every second.
We get after it. And then you can play basketball too if you
Hell yeah.
in the downtime.
A lot of downtime playing basketball after the tree jobs for a few hours.
That's amazing.
So what was one of the craziest things that you've encountered working here?
Just dropping big trees. We've had some big trees where if we got an open field, just take it down. And I mean, it can be a loud noise. A lot of neighbors are like, what the hell just happened? But just, I don't know, just dropping a big tree and yeah, we get after it.
So I got to ask, since I have the experts here, if the tree does fall in the middle of the woods and no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There it is. Not only in Buffalo, but in North Carolina, apparently. Because for some odd reason, you just dropped that bomb on us. I had absolutely no idea you went down to North Carolina for
Montana.
training. Or, yeah, anything about Montana, nothing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Wild. Well, anything else that you want to add?
No, I think it's great. I think what you guys are doing is great. Happy Hour podcast. It's a pretty cool thing.
Appreciate it,
Glad
man.
that you guys came out, reached out to Mike Egan. He's the one that got us in contact originally, and then obviously I watched the podcast for our boy Mark Byers, who we all here at Lakeview Lawns thinks he's a hero, and he's the real deal. So that's the hero of this town, in this city, in a sense. But no, like I said, I watched your podcast. Thought it was a great thing. I don't think there's anything else that I want to talk about unless you guys want to talk about anything.
No, good do, man.
LVL's the best.
LVL's the best. Oh, yeah. And you guys just grind and rip it.
Always grinding.
Well, thank you so much for your time, man. We really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Everybody, if you have any of your landscaping needs, lawn care, or tree removal, hit them up. LVL, Lakeview Lawns. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Of course.